Well, Pat Condell's last video that he just uploaded focused on the Burka issue a little bit, but it also focused the attention on, you know, where are the feminists? Why isn't there this feminist outcry about the Burka and how it's a symbolic oppression of women? And, you know, really, I had to say, he's absolutely right about that, and I should have been making a video about this ages ago, and it's way long overdue. There's a stigma around feminism that's like, oh, feminism, oh, feminists. So, look, you're a man, and you're also a feminist, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, so here. Give me your definition of feminism, okay?
Feminism is anyone who wants equality for women. Somebody, and it can be a man or a woman, doesn't matter. It could be Shadow, if she knew what it was all about, except she wouldn't have to worry because dogs already have equality between males and females, so they're ahead of humans already. And we've got a bit of catching up to do. And I think that most men would benefit greatly from being feminists because their relationship with women is degraded if they're not, because you cannot have a proper relationship that's unequal. And when I talk about unequal, I don't mean the same. Men and women are not the same. What I mean is that they have equal opportunity and equal rights.
Here you go, I'm going to get back to you because I want to make a point. The thing is, women in Islam will say that, oh, it's a choice to wear a burqa.
Yeah.
I mean, in the West, yes, it does become a choice because you can't really, like, technically force women to wear them, right? But you can. I mean, there are, like, ghettos in France that the police don't even go down, which are, like, they're, like, sort of closed communities within the country. And also, I mean, let's not pretend there's not pressure at home for women to wear burqas out in case their brothers or friends or their family might see them without one. I mean, they've even expressed that concern.
If you take some of the Islamic countries, they are in the Dark Ages
well,
still.
I know, and so you've got this
consequently,
clash of... Yes,
you probably need to protect your women against the men there.
But surely that's not really protection, though. I mean,
well,
is it?
I think in those places it might be better, but in our society...
Oh, I mean, wasn't there a civilization that hasn't even discovered fire yet that doesn't... I mean, they don't cover their women up in fear that they will be raped, I mean.
Yeah.
Come on, these are Stone Age people, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, well...
That on a basic level, everybody does have a core sense of morality.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's basically the same.
But, yeah, but I think that can be augmented or diminished drastically by the social context in which you live. Consequently, if you go into a different social context, such as if you join the army, your morality will change in relation to the pressure that you get from other people around you in most cases. However, you know, I mean, you know, there are individuals that stick out from the crowd, but if you stick out from your social environment too much, you can get ostracized or at the worst killed. When, for example, women will say they have the choice to wear a burqa, well they do to a great extent, but they still have tremendous social pressure because of the culture that they're embedded in.
That's why I said sense of coercion.
That it amounts to a kind of sense of coercion, but a lot of the time people will internalize that to stop internal conflict within themselves and go, okay, instead of me having to fight against this all the time, it's just easier on my life if I just comply. And so they, you know, when they're given the opportunity to speak in front of a camera, they know that when they get home, if they don't say the right thing, their menfolk will criticize them or perhaps even beat them. That's one aspect. But then there are some women who have actually fitted very well into that environment. They have learned the skills and the idea of walking around now without a burqa and doing things that are Western, for example, or alternative to the the Muslim or Arabic culture would be a real threat to them, and so they are enthusiastic about keeping things the way they are because they do well the way they are.
Well,
And
that's all
they
relative,
have,
isn't it?
there are people
I mean,
in the
slavery is
West.
slavery, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I mean, I'm sure that these are all elements in that. Here you go, I'm gonna give you the camera because my arm's getting tired.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't make burqas in white material or, you know, other colors like purple or green.
Oh, they
You can
do.
only- well, I've only ever seen burqas that are either black or dark blue. And both of those colors absorb heat like a motherfucker. So going out with a full burqa on in blazing sun, in like 50-degree Celsius heat is almost an act of desperation, you know? And even then, they're still not really outside, right? Because they're always covered up. They're always in their mobile tent.
So
I mean-
that's so much for that.
I mean,
So
imagine-
much for humour.
I mean, imagine. I'd love to do a comedy sometime about like a cross-dressing Arab whose mother comes home one day and finds him, you know, like trying on her burqa.
And you never know actually who's wearing the burqa if you're in Iran. You don't want to wear a burqa.
No, funnily enough, I don't. I mean, I kind of resent having to wear clothes in the first place, really.
I think we should inform the Muslim men that despite whatever they can do, that all their women are actually completely naked underneath their clothing.
Yes, definitely.
And no matter what they can do, their women are always
I think-
completely naked. When walking in public, they are completely naked underneath their burqas and the rest of their
You
clothes.
see, I have a solution to
I
this.
think that's disgusting.
I have this solution to a problem of the burqa problem, which would be much more compassionate on behalf of men. You see, because they're worried about seeing a female form, and because these guys, I suppose, maybe have developed without any kind of sense of control. You see, this helps give them personal responsibility for this. Is if all the men wore blindfolds instead when they went out in public, and then the women could do whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah, that's
And it
right.
would also help to reduce rape.
Yeah, that would.
Yes.
Because you can't even find the other person.
Yes, exactly. You see, I think that's a very good solution.
Yeah.
I also think that if you want to apply for the Catholic Church, if you want to become a minister, then castration should be mandatory.
Yeah, that would really help
It
the, the celibacy part.
Yes, it would.
And also allow them
see-
to sing the high parts in the hymns.
Exactly. It really is a very practical solution to a problem.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think the Catholics have done us a real favour. In the past, we couldn't really tell the difference between pedophiles and ordinary people, but now they've made sure that pedophiles have to wear this little white collar.
I think it's very considerate that they mark themselves out that way.
And I also think that they should start a Playboy magazine for Muslims and have women in burkinis.
Bikinis, yeah, exactly. You're showing off their wrists and stuff, right? Yeah, exactly. Their ankles and bits of their nose, right? I mean, exactly. Precisely. I mean, it speaks to the mentality of children.